Hello everyone, again I'm Michael Redden and welcome once again to Wealth Preservation TV. And we're going to cover one of the more basic topics today. I've been asked a couple times, but a lot of times, what is asset protection? Well, asset protection is a piece of your overall financial and business plan. Like most things, it works better if you include it in your estate plan, your business plan, if everything's kind of done together. Don't do these things in a vacuum, because things that one advisor will do or one attorney will do will mess something else up. That's why you really need somebody to be the quarterback for it, and you should look for an experienced private client attorney like myself who can quarterback these things, whether it's through your tax, through estate planning, everything else, and make sure everything lines up and complements each other. Now, with that in mind, asset protection is strategies where we make you a harder target for lawsuits, for predators, for divorce, and other things as far as your money goes. Anyone who's going to involuntarily take your money, that's the kind of thing that asset protection is there to protect for. Now, again, you probably, when you plan for these things, since it's going to involve trust and other things, are going to be going for a part of your estate plan and a part of your business structure. That's why another term for this is integrated estate planning. Integrated estate planning is where we take asset protection, tax, and everything, and we pull it all in and we make it this holistic plan. And if you're talking to someone about this topic, especially an attorney, and they don't know the integrated estate planning buzzword, then they're probably someone who doesn't do very much of this or doesn't do very sophisticated plans. So you need to watch out for that kind of thing. The other piece is asset protection is kind of like a mindset. It's an attitude. It is, I'm going to separate myself from my assets from me. Okay? I'm going to put some of my assets in these structures, whether they're other business structures, whether they're other trusts. They're going to be other people under the law. They're going to be people that just exist to benefit me, but since they're not me, I can't be pulled in when they're sued. They can't be pulled in when I'm sued. That's what we're looking at. Separate yourself from your assets and your assets from you. Separate your business from you and you from your business. And there are all kinds of different strategies that go with that. A lot of this part is divorce oriented, and you'll see it when I have other kind of things. But just remember, if you just go to the family court, a lawyer, and you get a postnuptial agreement or a prenup, you're kind of just halfway doing it. And remember that family court's a court of equity. Equity doesn't mean equality. It means fairness. It's feelings. And feelings are never good for your money. And especially in Minnesota and many other states, those agreements are only good for 20 years anyway. After you're married for 20 years, they don't matter. And then there's the other piece of it. If you use those agreements and asset protection strategies and trust to kind of separate those out, your assets won't even be a part of the divorce estate. And it won't be the court of equity anymore. We'll be back in the court of law. And if you don't own them and don't have the title to it, it can't really be pulled in. And many strategies are flat out by law prohibited from being a part of alimony and child support. Asset protection trusts with spendthrift provisions are that way in Minnesota. And those are the kind of things you want to look at. You also want to make sure with your asset protection strategy that you are not making yourself just behind Fort Knox. Not only is it going to be overly expensive to do, it's not going to be tax efficient, and if you've made it to where no one can get anything from you, then any of those creative arguments by plaintiff's counsel, the judge will be sympathetic to. Additionally, you can't go do any kind of asset protection planning when there's been a rainy day. If you go and do these protection strategies while you've got someone suing you, while you expect them to sue you, while you're getting behind on your payments, those kinds of things will make those transfers into these strategies fraudulent. And when they're fraudulent, you've got a problem. The judge will go back and undo them, maybe even put you in jail, maybe put your attorney in jail, so you need to be honest and we need to get those things going. So that's what asset protection is in a nutshell. That's what your wealth preservation strategies really need to encompass as well. Don't think about all these strategies just as what's tax, what's the most efficient for business. Start thinking about what makes it harder for me to lose this stuff. How can I protect myself from divorce? How do these things all come together? Because you can get great tax benefits doing this now. With tax reform, you're benefited from having extra taxpayers. And each of those trusts in there are extra taxpayers. And if you're not a corporation, if you're an S-corp, if you've got partnerships, or a lot of times we'll make partnerships for it, we will be able to get you beneficial tax treatment on a lot of these things. And those things can make it all worth the while. You get protected and you get to save money. And if you'd like to know more, then click and schedule a consultation with me, and we'll discuss your situation in detail. I can help people in Minnesota. I have contacts in other countries and other states. We can get your stuff done. So until next time, I hope this was beneficial for you, and stay out of trouble.